Yeah, thanks, John, for being on the podcast of the Data Professor YouTube channel. Before we begin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Thanks for having me on, by the way. So my name is John David, and I'm the host of the How to Get an Analytics Job podcast. I also am the founder of a consulting agency called Silver Twin Analytics, and I'm also a teacher at High Point University and Greensboro College. So I feel like I could list more, but I don't want to bore everybody with accolade after accolade. I think that sums it up.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, but it's also important to note that John has 9 awesome courses in data analytics on various platforms in LinkedIn and also in Udemy.
Correct.
So yeah, you could check out those courses and subscribe to John's YouTube channel, and the links will be provided in the description of this video. All right, awesome. So let's start with the first question, John. So could you tell us a bit about how did you become a data analyst?
Sure. So I guess we got to go back, 6 years now. 6 years ago, I was selling insurance door to door, getting rejected 20 times a day. I finally had landed a really big client, and overnight they decided that they were going to drop the insurance that I sold them. So I was pretty much out of a job. It was like 80% of my income was gone. I had enough kind of money to sit tight for a minute. So what I did was I took 3 months off and just started doing research, and I kept seeing analytics and data showing up over and over and over again. And this was 6 years ago. So this was even, before it was even blowing up as much as it is now. So what I realized was that UNCG, which is University of North Carolina in Greensboro, was 2 blocks away from me, and they had just launched an MBA program with a concentration in analytics. So I decided to sign up for that, got accepted, and then while I was there, I did 3 different internships, and the last internship I turned into my first consulting client. Wow. So I've been consulting since then, and then I actually hit kind of a lull in my consulting agency. Then I started YouTubing. The second video I ever made got picked up by search results for the Tableau desktop specialist certification. So I decided to make a course, which then led me to kind of getting into higher ed and teaching like in person through colleges. So that's kind of like the high notes. I know there's like a lot there, but feel free to like ask me any portion of that. But that's pretty much a good synopsis of where I'm at right now.
Right. Awesome. Yeah. So I noticed that you have 9 courses. Could you maybe spend some time talking about like how long does it take you to make one course, and and how did you amass the ideas for the 9 courses?
Well, what's funny is, so are you familiar with Super Data Science?
Yeah. Was it
Kirill?
Kirill Eremenko, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they found that Tableau course. Right. And reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to create courses for Super Data Science? So essentially, they're my distribution partner.
Wow.
I got a call from Leo, who is the, production manager for Super Data Science,
right.
At the beginning of this year. This was right before COVID hit. And he said, hey, PowerBI is coming out with a brand new certification. Do you want to take it on? And what was funny about this is I had done maybe one consulting engagement with PowerBI. And there are 5 major sections within the certification. So during lockdown, I spent, I don't know, probably 200 hours learning Tableau or learning Power BI, scripting the lectures and putting them together. And that course launched, I think 3 months ago, and it's had about 30,000 people sign up for it. So just answering the questions for that course has kind of turned into a part-time job. Luckily, I hired an intern though. So my intern is helping me kind of sift through those questions.
Right. And the other courses also derived from that one, or did it branch out from that one as well?
So the other 8, so I guess.
Yeah.
Super Data Science is one of my course distribution partners. The other course distribution partner I have is called Madecraft. And so Linda was acquired by LinkedIn. And and one of the higher up marketing guys in that company, his name's Brad Batesel. he started a company called Madecraft that is a content creation company that they make courses for LinkedIn. So they flew me out to Santa Barbara, California, and I recorded 5 courses with them in their studio. And that wasn't quite as intensive as the Power BI certification course, but it was different because I did a course on Tableau. I did 2 courses on Power BI, and then I did 3 courses on just general analytics. So like Analytics 101, Sales Analytics, and Marketing Analytics. So LinkedIn courses, they're really interesting. Have you ever taken a LinkedIn course?
No, I've seen like a preview once.
So what LinkedIn is getting right, I think, which I think is the future of education in general, is it's educational, but it's also entertaining. So they they sent me a script of here's a scripting template. So it's like you have your hook, like, hey guys, we're going to learn about Power BI, and we're going to learn about how to create a group, and then that's kind of the hook, and then it's like you go through it, and then there's an outro. So it's like all of the videos are 3 to 5 minutes, and then they're broken into chapters, and then the chapters are made into courses. So it's kind of fun, shorter, but it's supposed to be engaging, and I'm actually like using real world use cases. So yeah, I learned a lot while I was out there recording with them, because my production manager with that company actually had worked with, they did filming with like Oprah Winfrey and Steve Jobs and all those people. So that was yeah. I mean, it was the first time I ever like looked at a teleprompter, because I was in like a legit studio. Like there was like this huge lighting box. I had, a producer here. I had a script, and they were like critiquing me on like, I need a little bit more energy here, or dial it back. I mean, Santa Barbara is only like, I don't know, an hour north of Hollywood. It was so fun because it was interesting to me because I'm in North Carolina, so I'm like a Southern boy. So it's like a world away from where I'm at typically.
Yeah. And so all of that filming is like within a week's time?
Oh yeah. Those were 10-hour days.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that led to 5 courses in
Correct.
Wow.
Well,
super productive.
well, I had already scripted them beforehand. And then I did have some take-home homework. So like with, for example, like the Power BI and Tableau courses, I can record them on my computer using a mic like this if it's just a screen share. But I mean, they wanted
just the audio. Okay, just the audio.
Well, the audio and the video. So like
and the screen share. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Correct.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. I'm still a baby in making online courses. I'm also learning, and like the university that I'm working at, they're also requiring me to. They've given me like a research grant, like a teaching grant, in order for me to set up some online courses here. And so I'll probably have to deliver one early next year. And yeah, I'm like a newbie here, so yeah, would love to learn from you.
Yeah, feel free to reach out to me. I can kind of share my process, and kind of like I don't think I can. I'm confidentially not able to share that exact template, but I can kind of walk you through. Here's how you want to think about it, because you probably don't want like an hour and a half lecture. You probably want to, what's the big topic? So I don't know, Python, what's Python broken into, these types of statements. Although I'm not a coder. I mean, I feel like I'm going to show the fact that I'm an analyst. I use Tableau. I use like point and click stuff. Maybe a little bit of SQL, maybe a little bit of like DAX.
So kind of like chapters and sub chapters, right?
Correct.
Yeah, thanks, John, for the answer for the first question. Let's hop on to the second question. What are the essential skill sets of becoming a data analyst?
So I really break that down into 2. You have hard skills and you have soft skills. Your hard skills, I can't tell you, because if you want to get a data science job, that's very different than a business analyst or a data analyst. So my advice on figuring out what hard skills you need to have: find 3 of your ideal jobs, like job postings on LinkedIn or Indeed or Monster or wherever you're looking for jobs. Go down to the skill section and then find everything they list out. That's going to give you kind of a blueprint for what hard skills you need to develop to get your ideal job. Now, on the soft skills side, it's pretty universal. The biggest soft skill that I've been pushing is you need to figure out or learn how to be influential. So this means that you need to get buy-in on your projects. So if you aren't influential, you're just going to get pushed around, and it's really going to limit kind of the trajectory of your career. For example, like if you can pitch your manager that, hey, I've got this new sales analytics project that's going to help our company make, I don't know, $1 million more. If you can successfully get them to say, you know what, yeah, let's go analyze that data. I would love to do that. And then you actually execute on that. That's kind of a quiver in your, bow so that you can then get your next opportunity and continue to grow. The next soft skill is critical thinking. And we kind of talked a little bit about this in our podcast episode of building a portfolio shows that you know how to problem solve and you're a self-starter and you're self-sufficient. Anybody can go in and sit in on a class and pass the test. I mean, just memorizing information is not very difficult, but taking information and applying it to a novel and new problem is really, really valuable, especially in this space.
All right, thanks for your second answer. Let's hop on to the next question. So what are your tips and tricks for landing a job as a data analyst?
Well, so as we talked about, I guess it's earlier in the day for us, but in the other podcast episode that you and I have collaborated on, the biggest thing is building a portfolio. So getting some work out into the world. And that kind of falls under the bracket of personal branding. So you need to build your personal brand. And it actually gets back to the previous question of what important skills. So your personal brand breaks down into the hard skills, which everyone in the data space seems to love to build new hard skills. And a great way of kind of executing on personal branding is learning a new hard skill and then sharing it on LinkedIn. And then people can comment. It may even, lead to a hiring manager seeing you and asking if you want to interview for a job. What's a little bit tougher is showing the soft skills. So it's tricky communicating that soft skill, but really where you can communicate that is in an interview. So just being personable and being like able to relate, and you want to create some form of connection with the person you're interviewing. Or I guess this is another pro tip. If you really don't like the person you're interviewing with, you probably shouldn't even take that job, because then that's kind of a red flag. I actually had someone who we worked with early on in the podcast who visualized his fantasy football data and then talked about that in an interview. And it turns out that the guy interviewing him used to play soccer down in Latin America, and they kind of bonded on that. So those are kind of, they're almost emotional bids. Are you familiar with that concept?
Not yet.
So an emotional bid is when you say something that the other person can kind of clamp down on and you guys can connect. So in that example, saying, oh yeah, I visualize sports data, underlying that, you're a sports fan. If they're a sports fan too, you guys have connected.
Like a connection.
Right. Okay. So that's some pro tips on how you can, get your next opportunity. So it's not all hard skills. I almost feel like we worship hard skills in the data science and analytics space. But think about like who you are as a person and what makes you unique, and then put that out to the world.
Yeah, that's an awesome tip. Yeah, so trying to find your uniqueness and then selling that as your unique selling point. Yeah, awesome. So let's hop on to the next one. So it would be great to know, like, what are some of the tools or resources that you use on a day-to-day basis in your job or as a YouTuber?
Okay, so the number one skill the number one tool/skill is Excel. So I still use Excel pretty much daily. I mean, most of the work I'm doing from consulting clients is, for example, I have a consulting engagement now where I'm studying CRM or client relationship management data. They downloaded that data into Excel and sent it to me, and then I built out a sales dashboard from that. So I think Excel is really the number one tool you need to learn, because what that does is it's kind of it plays that stewardship role between those who are super technical and those who are non-technical. So if you can understand the basics of Excel, you can connect with so many more people. You're not just talking about people who know Python or R or some form of coding. Where I've kind of carved out my, I guess, professional niche is data visualization. So I use Tableau and Power BI pretty much daily.
Cool. Which one did you start it out first? Was it Power BI or Tableau? And which one did you find to be easier or better, or like the pros and cons?
So that's a really interesting question, because I'm very well known as a Power BI expert, but I have much more experience with Tableau. So my courses on Power BI probably have about 60 to 70,000 people who've signed up for them.
Wow.
But I would say 95% of my client work has been in Tableau. So that's the second part of that question is, I can't give you a simple answer. So Tableau is better at data visualization. Like, it's much easier to build out a very aesthetically pleasing data visualization or dashboard. But it doesn't do such a great job of data modeling. So getting the data cleaned up and structured, so the ETL portion of it is much easier to do in Power BI, because the query editor is built into Power BI. Tableau has kind of addressed this with the Tableau Prep Builder, but that is a separate program that you have to kind of stack on top of Tableau, to where everything's built into Power BI. That being said, Power BI, I just don't find the UI or user experience as easy or intuitive from a data visualization standpoint.
I see. Yeah. So it seems that both could be used like complementary to one another. Like, you could use Power BI to structure your data, like make some initial data visualization, and then you could make more in-depth or beautiful plots in Tableau.
Right. I actually did interview Bethany Klobanov on our channel, and she I think she does quite a bit of hiring, and she's like an analytics manager. And she says that she sees a lot of companies who they use Power BI for the basic reporting, but when they need to do some deep dive analysis, they're going to have Tableau. So they actually, some companies have both licenses.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Like, I've tried to register for a Tableau like educational license. And so I'll definitely give that a try. I've registered for it, but I haven't really used it yet.
So get this.
Yeah.
Tableau Public is free. There's a free version of Tableau that you can get.
All right.
So you can download Tableau Public Desktop. And so the thing about learning Tableau, which I don't know, your audience may not be as into Tableau as mine, is that you can learn Tableau within a week. You could probably learn Tableau within like a day or two, or just being proficient of, I can connect to an Excel file, I can pull it in, and I can build out bar charts or line charts or KPI cards, or even an interactive dashboard. I can teach you that within a week, realistically. Cool. So what's cool about Tableau Public is that you can build out a dashboard and then actually post it to the Tableau Public server and have your own portfolio page.
Cool. So it's going to be like a shareable dashboard with a link.
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
But is it based on open data? Can you use your own custom data for that?
So I've actually done this in my consulting practice, which I don't know, this is probably not best practice, but if I haven't gotten buy-in from the client yet. So a situation has arisen where the director of a company wanted me to build out a Tableau Public with a you can create a Tableau Public visualization where it doesn't have, I guess it's got a hidden link, so it's not going to show up on your portfolio page. So I built out a public facing Oh, it's an unlisted link. So you
Okay,
can. So I've built out prototypes unlisted on Tableau Public
I see.
to get the prototype version and
Mm-hmm.
then deleted it after, just to kind
Okay.
of get that prototype um, built out to pitch the
Mm-hmm.
CEO of a company.
I see. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you can use private data on there, but it's probably not good. Although I haven't seen a situation in my own
Right.
practice where
Mm-hmm.
data has been leaked and then used.
Right.
I mean, I guess it happens, but
Okay.
yeah. So that's a good point. If you're posting on Tableau Public, make sure that it's not confidential data or data that
Okay.
someone could use against your client or you or
Right.
whoever. Because yeah, Tableau Public is public facing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great pro tip. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, John, for being on this podcast with us here on the Data Professor YouTube channel. And so for the audience of this channel, please check out his YouTube channel. And I'll provide you the link to that in the description of this video and also in the pinned comments. And so thank you for watching. And thanks, John, for being here.
Thanks for having me on. See ya.
Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. But in the meantime, please check out these videos.